Welcome back to Tiny Grimes Games, and I'm here with another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video. And today I'm going to be talking about the new raid that was spoiled last week, the Tank Takedown, or the AAT raid. And I do have a small spoiler that I'll talk about at the end, but bear in mind it's small, don't get too excited. Alright, let me start by saying I know nothing about this raid. I know pretty much what you know now from the video. And the video has helped me parse out what I think is going on with the raid. So it looked to me like there's either going to be 3 or 4 phases. The first phase looks like it's a bunch of droids and an AAT tank hitting you. The second phase looks like you've wounded the tank. It's now in the background. It's being worked on. Some giant droid is out there with his minions. By the way, both of these kind of remind me of the pigs, right? The Gamorrean guards and their captain. It looks like there are the smaller guys and then the big guy. And we'll return to what maybe that means for us in a bit. Now the third and fourth phase, I'm not sure. My guess is one of two things happens. We see Grievous come, right? And there's nothing behind him. So it looks like the tank has been destroyed by this point. So my guess is it's either a 3-phase fight where at the end of phase 2, when you blow up that big droid and the little droids, then you just blast away at the tank and blow it up. The other thought, and this is what I'm leaning towards thinking, is that as a 4-phase fight, and phase 3, that tank is now repaired and even stronger than it was the first time around. Maybe it's repaired and it's got a bigger gun on it or something. I don't know. Something like that. And then in the fourth phase, you meet up with Grievous himself and his minions. What's interesting about this is it looks like it's slightly different from the Rancor, which was a bunch of guys in the first phase, and then phases 2, 3, and 4 were a one-guy fight, right? You just kill the Rancor. You just blitz him down as best as you can, control him as best as you can, and go from there. So what it looks like is people that have really good lineups for the phase 1 Rancor now look like they're probably going to be in pretty good shape. My guess is that turn meter control is still going to be really good unless they do something like give the big droid and the tank just tremendous levels of tenacity so that your potency and your turn meter removal don't get through. But if that doesn't happen, it seems like characters who are really good at turn meter removal like Tebow are going to continue to be good, which would be great for me. I've invested so much in Tebow. Just terrified for that moment where the new raid comes out and they go, oh, by the way, Tebow's terrible. Alright, so hopefully Tebow will continue to be good. My guess is Rex will continue to be great. I don't have Rex. There's really not much I can say or show you about Rex other than his grayed out portrait of the guy that I have. What, do I have? No, none. Not a single shard for him. And believe me, Rex is somebody that I want so bad. This is the free-to-play player's nightmare, is not being able to get Rex right now. But, oh well, it is what it is, right? So, basically, if you have a lineup that seems really strong against phase 1 of the Rancor, my temptation is to say, you seem like you're in okay shape. Now, I could also see Jawas becoming really good. It looks like there's going to be a lot of droids that you're going to have to attack at once. And being able to have bonuses against droids seems solid. The Jawa is already quite good. If you, whatever it's called, ultimate ability, his basic, it's pretty darn good. You get a better chance to get a speed down. You do more damage if they're already suffering a negative effect, like, say, a speed down. So he might be quite useful to go along with that. The new Jawas, the Scavenger, Dacha, Nebbit, all these guys, they may be worth investing in, the Engineer. Now, the problem is, I don't know. I haven't seen the new raid. I don't know what to tell you. I can't say, like, yes, get all the Jawas, because, man, if they don't end up being good there, when are they going to be good? You're going to have really wasted a lot of resources. And I know, like, for me, for instance, I'm putting all my extra resources right now into my Imperial lineup so that I can get more potency mods. Speaking of mods, it looked like from the video that mods will be the reward for this raid, which will be quite interesting. So those high-level mods we've been waiting for, it looks like they're going to probably be in that raid. At least that's my guess. The real question, though, becomes, where how's this going to work? We've already seen a piggybacking of Cantina resources for both mods and Cantina battles. Are we going to see piggybacking of raid resources? My guess is yes. My guess is these guild coins are going to be used for everything in this guild area, whether that be raids or whatever else they bring in that is multiplayer. And that's going to be really tough. If that does end up happening, it's going to be really difficult. You're going to have to balance out, you know, does my guild need mods more? Does it need gear more? This is going to be interesting and potentially, you know, a little bit problematic. Could cause some rifts and raids as people say, like, I'm out. I need a guild that's still going for gear. And another person might say, well, I've got all the gear. Screw you guys. I'm finding a mod raid. Hopefully, everyone can find a happy medium. All right, so the bottom line with the new raid, it looks like it's going to be pretty interesting. People have complained that it's Grievous and, you know, from the Clone Wars era, and they would rather it was something better than that or different. And I have a whole bunch of ideas for raids that I'm going to do a video on very shortly. You know, both for you and for Capital Games. Maybe they'll see something there and go, that Tiny Grimes guy, he's really onto something. So that'll be the next one. All right, so finally, the spoiler. The spoiler is pretty lame, but it's a spoiler nonetheless. Grievous is not the Grievous that's here. And that's not that shocking. Capital Games does this a lot where the person will have different abilities. But I've been told specifically that I can spoil the fact that this Grievous is not the Grievous we'll see in the raid. So what you should not do is look at this Grievous, you know, really figure out his weaknesses, and then come at him with them. That's not what you should do. I'm still guessing he's going to be real good against Jedi. That's kind of his thing. He's a Jedi hunter. So, I don't know. I'd say be careful putting too much stock into what he is now. One last thing I want to say is it the time? Is it really going to be the moment when Eeth Koth is decent? Huh? I don't know. I mean, he's probably not going to be in your first crew, but if it's anything like the last raid where you end up needing 3 to 5 to 6 different lineups depending on what you're doing, it might be quite nice to have Eeth Koth. If you did what I did and you maxed him out just to be able to unlock Yoda, and you've basically been sitting there going, I wish I had those resources back. What was I doing? This could be a chance to use him. So that could be quite good. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and I know I'm looking forward to the next raid. I hope you guys are too, and I'll see you next time on Tiny Grimes Games.